This morning, I woke up in a familiar room, but my heart felt strangely unfamiliar. Sunlight slipped through the crack of the door, as if trying to awaken something that had slept too long inside me. Perhaps it was hope. Perhaps it was the desire to begin again, after the brokenness I haven't even found words for. Last night, I lay still for a long time, listening to the clock tick like the sigh of time itself. Everything seemed to slow down, and a small emptiness crept into every corner of the room. Some memories are still there, unfinished plans, people who once promised to walk with me to the end, fragile pieces of a faith that once shattered. But this morning, I don't want to carry the pain any further. I just want to sit quietly, watch the first beam of sunlight fall on the wall, and whisper, "Lord, if you are still here, please start again within me." In this life, I understand, no one escapes brokenness. Sometimes it's a relationship that ends. Sometimes a dream left unfinished. Or simply the moment I stop believing in myself. Each crack leaves an empty space, and I once tried to fill it with work, words, and temporary distractions. But the more I tried, the more I realized only your grace can mend the deepest parts of a human heart. This morning, I want to relearn how to breathe slowly so that every breath becomes an invitation for you to enter. So that in this silence, I can hear you whisper, "You can begin again, because I am still here." Maybe I don't yet know where I'm going or what tomorrow will bring, but I believe that if you walk with me, even the smallest beginning can become a miracle. Like a sprout breaking through the soil, like light after the rain, you are quietly rebuilding my life, piece by piece. Lord, help me not to fear beginnings, even when the road ahead is still covered in mist. Give me courage to move forward, even when my heart still carries unhealed wounds, because I know you don't need me to be perfect to love me. You only need me to open my heart to be healed. This morning, I offer you my fragments and ask you to turn them into something beautiful. Not so that I may forget, but so that I may remember that from ruins, you can still make all things new. Perhaps you never asked me to forget what was broken, but wanted me to see it again in a new light. Every fragment carries a story of where I once loved, once trusted, once fell. But even in that wreckage, you are still quietly at work, slowly, patiently, like a master craftsman mending the cracks within my soul. This morning, when I look out the window, the light feels different. Not dazzling, but gentle. It doesn't erase the darkness. It only touches softly, revealing what still remains whole. And in that moment, I understand. Sometimes beginning again doesn't mean starting over, but continuing the journey with a heart that's softer, more trusting, and more grateful. I sit still a little longer and whisper in my heart, "Lord, I don't need everything to return to the way it was. I only need you here to walk with me through the unwritten part of my life. Behold, I make all things new." Revelation 21:5. Lord, I read this verse and feel light pouring into my heart. So many old things have faded away. So many dreams I once held and lost are suddenly gathered again in your gentle promise. Everything can be made new. There are days when I don't even know where to start. Everything feels like a tangled mess, mistakes, regrets, things I can't yet forgive. I look within myself and see only weariness. The world tells me to be strong, to get up quickly. But Lord, you know, Sometimes people just need to sit down for a while, to breathe, to cry, to stop pretending they're okay. I used to think beginning again meant doing something big, changing jobs, leaving old places, stepping into a brand new path. But today, I understand. Beginning again is sometimes simply daring to believe that you still love me, even when I have nothing left to prove that I'm worthy. Lord, grant me the courage not to run from myself, because I know, to be healed, I must face my wounds. There are pains I've avoided for years, memories I've buried beneath busyness, people I've yet to forgive, even myself. But if I keep holding on to those things, I'll never truly begin again. Teach me to let go of what is past. If it no longer belongs to me, help me have enough faith to walk away without bitterness. And if something is meant to stay, give me patience to rebuild it with genuine love. I know your grace doesn't arrive in noise, but often in the stillest moments of the day, like this morning. As I watch the first drop of sunlight fall upon my hand, I realize I'm still alive, still loved, and still have the chance to do better than yesterday. I surrender to you the things I cannot fix on my own, the relationships that have cracked, the plans that have fallen apart, the dreams I thought had expired. Lord, please step into every corner of those places and do what only you can do. Turn brokenness into fertile soil so that from it something new may grow. When I have to begin again, let me not seek perfection, but your presence. Because I understand that if you are in every beginning, then even with empty hands, I still have enough to live, to love, and to continue. I know this journey will not be easy. There will be moments when I grow weak again, when I want to give up, when fear returns at the thought of what once fell apart. But please remind me, Lord, brokenness is not the end of the story, but a pause where you continue writing it with the strokes of mercy. So this morning, I don't ask you to erase the past. I only ask that you use it to build a better present. I don't ask you to take away my memories. I only ask that you place the light of grace within them. And I don't ask you to hide the cracks in my heart. I ask that you let your light shine through them. Lord, thank you for still seeing goodness in me, even when all I see is ashes. Thank you that your grace never grows old, and that your love never stops renewing me day by day. Lord, there were times I thought I could stand up on my own. I worked harder, spoke cheerfully, trying to cover the cracks in my soul. But the more I tried to appear fine, the emptier I felt. Long nights without sleep and shattered dreams slipped into my heart like tiny shards of glass. I come to you, not to ask why, but simply to find rest. Let me rest in your heart, like a child running to its mother after a hard fall. Help me know that you are not disappointed by my weakness, for it is in weakness that your grace becomes even clearer. Under the shadow of your wings, I want to forget the noise, the comparisons, the stares. Teach me to be grateful that there is still a place to return to, where you don't ask, "Why did you fall?" but open your arms and say, "My child, I am still here." I have been afraid, Lord, so many times, afraid to start again from nothing, afraid to trust something new after too many disappointments. Sometimes, just hearing about the past makes my heart tremble as if the wound had never healed. But this morning, as I sit in gentle sunlight, I hear you whisper softly, "Do not be afraid. I am still walking with you." And I realize fear doesn't disappear overnight, but it fades when I take small steps of faith. Teach me to slow down, to stop rushing ahead just to prove that I'm okay. You don't need me to be strong in appearance. You only want me to be honest with myself. Remove the walls I've built around my heart so that you can touch the place that hurts most, and from there, bring healing. Lord, on this new journey, I ask you to protect me from the voices inside my mind, those quiet, persistent whispers saying, "You are no longer worthy." Don't let me believe those lies, for I know my true worth lies in the love you have for me, not in achievements or the eyes of the world. Protect me from the habit of returning to old pain just because it feels familiar. Protect me from the temptation to close my heart just because I fear loving again. And protect me from punishing myself as if I no longer deserve joy. Guard me when I grow weary, when I see others moving ahead and my spirit sinks. Remind me that each person has their own journey and that you have not forgotten me. You are simply preparing something right for me in your perfect time, Lord. If I could ask you for one thing, I would ask for strength, but not the strength of steel, rather the strength of a tender heart, a heart that still knows how to love, even after being broken, a heart that still dares to believe, even after disappointment, a heart that still knows how to smile, because it understands that every tear has its reason to exist. Help me see miracles in the small things, someone who still chooses to stay beside me, a day that passes without tears, a morning when I feel I want to live once more. Those are small but real signs of resurrection. If I stumble again, let me not feel ashamed. If I lose my way, let me not despair. Because you do not count the number of times I fall. You count the number of times I dare to return. Give me strength to forgive those who have hurt me, and also myself, the one who has blamed myself for too long. Grant me strength to be patient, for healing is not a moment, but a process, and each day I choose to trust you is a small step in the miracle that is unfolding. I think of St. Peter, the one who collapsed in shame after denying his Lord. But Jesus did not turn away. He came to Peter on the shore and asked only one question: "Do you love me?" No reproach, no judgment, only love. And I also think of St. Mary Magdalene, the one once despised, yet she was the first to see the risen Lord. I see myself in them, weak souls, but loved through boundless mercy. Teach me, Lord, to learn from them the perseverance to rise again and the courage not to run from love. If they could be made new in your hands, then I believe you can do the same with me. Teach me to kneel, not because of failure, but because of gratitude. For in every brokenness, you are quietly rebuilding my life, not in the way I desire, but in the way only you know is best. And sometimes, I think I already understand all that you do, yet you still surprise me in such gentle ways, not through dazzling miracles, but through a stranger's smile on the street, a word that warms my heart, a morning when I suddenly want to live a little more. I realize blessings don't come from great events, but from life continuing quietly on. You still breathe with me through every weary rhythm, still walk beside me even when I am not ready to move forward. Each time I grow weak, you say nothing. You simply place your hand upon my shoulder, and in that gaze, I know I am still chosen, still loved as on the very first day. If ever I fall again, let me not panic or feel ashamed. Remind me that standing up again is not because I am strong, but because you have never stopped holding me. And in every breath, in every tear, you are teaching me the most important truth. that love never disappears. It merely changes form so that I may learn to recognize it. I want to hold on to that truth, like holding a small lamp in the night. When the world around me goes dark, that lamp, my faith in you, still burns quietly and is enough to light my way. After long days of collapsing and slowly rising again, today I just want to say one thing. Thank you. Not because everything has become perfect, but because amid all that remains unfinished, I still see your hand working in silence. Thank you for never leaving, even when I grew tired and let go first. Thank you for the people who chose to stay, even when they didn't fully understand what I was going through. Thank you that every morning the light still arrives, that my breath is still gentle within my chest, and that my heart is still warm enough to love again. I once thought blessings had to be grand, but now I see grace sometimes looks like a simple meal, a slow embrace, or a friend's message saying, "I believe you'll be okay." It turns out miracles still happen, just in very small forms. If I must begin again once more, I want to start with gratitude, because when the heart is grateful, it no longer fears loss, and when the soul is at peace, pain knows how to fade away. Out there, many are also learning how to begin again. Those who have lost their homes to storms, those forced to leave their homeland because of war, those trying to piece their lives back together after deep loss. May your peace touch them. Let the ruined lands regain their color of green, and the broken hearts find their way back to one another. Amid the smoke and tears, light the small lamps of kindness, so that this world, though still in ruins, will still have hands that hold each other and souls that dare to believe in goodness. And if it is possible, let me also take part, even in a small way. A word of encouragement, an act of kindness, a presence warm enough so that someone does not feel alone. I am grateful for my home, the place that still holds the warmth of love, a place where there have been tears, yet laughter has never been absent. If I have ever made my parents sad, grant me the courage to say I'm sorry. If there are still wounds within our home, let your love flow gently into those weary places. Give my parents peaceful mornings, the grace to breathe in soft light, and smiles that come from knowing their children are safe and well. Teach my family to be gentle again, to speak with kindness, and to listen to one another more amid busy days. Sometimes miracles are simply this: a meal with everyone present, a smile offered at the right moment, or a hand held without words. From that, I've learned that as long as love remains at home, life, no matter how hard, is still a blessing. The road ahead is still uneven, yet now I am no longer afraid, because I know brokenness does not end the story. It only opens a new chapter, one where you are the author. This candle of gratitude, I will keep it burning, so that when darkness returns, its light will still show me the way. And if one day I lose my path, remind me, there was once a morning when you rebuilt my life through grace. Morning light softly touches an old wound, and instead of aching, this time it makes me smile. Perhaps that is the sign of healing. A healing that comes quietly, yet endures. I sit still and realize that the greatest miracle is not that life has changed, but that I have changed in how I see it. What once caused me pain now teaches me patience and compassion. What once made me despair has become a lesson in hope and rebirth. Perhaps beginning again does not mean doing everything over, but learning to see with different eyes, the eyes of one who knows how to love more and judge less. Beginning again is not about forgetting what was broken, but being grateful. Because through that brokenness, I've touched the depth of grace. Within me, a small, quiet space is growing. It doesn't come from what I've achieved, but from what I've released. The fear, the guilt, the need to be perfect. I realize now, God never asked me to become someone else. He only wants me to return to myself with a tender heart and hands ready to trust. If I could, I would thank Him for letting me walk through nights of silent tears so I could learn how to lean on Him more. Thank you for the interruptions that made me reflect, for the losses that taught me to cherish, and for those who left, for they helped me see the value of those who stay. Now I ask for nothing more, only to keep this peace within me. Let this peace follow me into each new day, into my work, into my words to others, and even into my moments of silence. Let the light of this morning continue to shine into the hidden corners of my heart, where fear still lingers, so that your love may gently heal it. If another day comes when I am weak again, remind me, you have rebuilt my life once, and you can do it many times more. For your grace has no limit, and your mercy never runs dry. His mercies are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Lamentations 3:23. I close my eyes, take a deep breath, and let my heart whisper, "Thank you, Lord, that I still get to begin again. And this time, I will walk with you." Amen.